Thanks for listening to the AZ12 podcast, proudly presented by Little Caesars. 15% off any online order. Use code SAVE15. Code LCFREECC. Free crazy combo with a pizza purchase. All right, I'm Mike Luke, now joined by my good buddy Jeremiah Dibble. Jeremiah Dibble lives the life that all of us would like to live. He gets to watch sports for a living and how you doing, Jay? How you doing, Mr. Dibble?
I'm good, thank you. Appreciate the invite and been excited to be on. So wish it could have been with a win, but here we are.
All right, let's do it. All right, now I'm going to say there's a lot that we don't like about that I don't like about what I saw today, but I'm also the fans in here or the fans on Twitter that are now saying this team's a fraud. This team is Tommy's a fraud. This is a Sweet 16 team at best. I mean, come on, guys. This team's 23-2. Now, are there issues? Sure, but the second you lose a game or two, it's like, yeah, this team sucks. It's like, come on, man. And it's just nonstop. It's Dibble, I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Yeah, I was waiting for you to hop on, and everybody wants Tommy fired, and we were pretenders, and it's frustrating to see how quickly they just turn on what's still an amazing season.
There's a guy in this there's a guy in the comments who was literally telling me a week ago that this is the best team that he's ever seen at Arizona, and now he is saying that this team is clearly a fraud. So it's all right, yeah. So all right, this game comes down to a couple things for me. The first one, Dibs, is that this team they didn't have an answer for JT Toppin. This team, JT Toppin was absolutely a monster, and there was absolutely nothing that they could do about him at all.
Yeah, I like that we switched to Ivan. Ivan was trying to do a good job, but he's just too small. I feel like we should have sent a double a little quicker. If we had Ivan pick him up outside and send Krivas, and if they're going to make threes, let him beat us that way. It's a lot better to get beat by 3-point jump shots than layups by Toppin, because we could not stop him.
That's exactly what happened. I agree with you. You know what? If they're going to make threes, and again, Tommy's not infallible. I mean, we're going to have some criticisms here, but like you just said, Dibs, I don't understand why you, if you're going to put Ivan on him, then you need to basically be prepared to, in my opinion, you have to be prepared to double him. Then he's just not good enough, or he's just not big enough. He's just not good enough. This dude's a man, and they didn't do that, and he basically got whatever he wanted. And then when he missed, there would just be a weak side shot that would be there for a layup or whatever. One thing that 499 super staff, Logan Nels. Biggest thing I saw was Tech wanted to get switches every time down the court, mismatches for Toppin. Tommy didn't adjust. Having Koa changes things. I guess let's get into Koa a little bit here, Dibs. Where are you at with Koa right now?
I mean, he's regressed quite a bit. I think that's like an elephant in the room.
Yeah, it
is what it is. I was hoping at halftime we were going to drop a couple plays for him to get him going, and then obviously something happened with his lower body. I'm not sure what it was. Obviously, he didn't come back in the game, but I think we need to focus on getting him going. He's slumping right now too. Him and Del Orso are both slumping very badly.
And the thing with Koa that I think is a little disappointing, and I know that he's injured and all of that stuff. But I'm going to say this: when it comes to Koa, the things that are kind of surprised me a little bit about him that I thought would be more of a part of his game would be like that he was going to be hustle, that he was going to get rebounds, that he was going to be a monster around the hoop, a little bit like a Waka to a certain extent, obviously. But he's not really a good, he's an okay rebounder. To the podcaster, keep Michigan name out of your mouth. Hey, Les, just so you know, we already know you don't have a job and that your wife doesn't like you. You can go away now, Les. Sorry, Les, but it's true. But, like with him, though, it's they just got to get more. If you don't get anything out of Koa Pete and you don't get anything out of Jaden Bradley, that's going to be a loss. It's, it just is the way it is against a good team.
Yeah, it's turning into, if we're not getting buckets from Burries and we're not having a Waka clean up, the glass, we're in trouble right now.
Right.
Something needs to change. We've hit a roadblock. I'm not hitting the panic button like, most of the comments are, but we do need to make some changes. That's for sure.
Right. Now, love them, but the AZ guys cope too much. No, I'm just not going to sit here and how does a 2-game stretch confirm anything? All right, let's read Shane Bergen's comments. Love them, but the AZ12 guys cope too much. Can you put that comment on the screen there, Cody? Or here, I guess. Hold on, let me find it. All right, I found it. Okay, it was 6+ scoreless minutes after controlling the entire game. This game confirmed that. I don't know that you. The thing about it though is you have 25 games. You just don't have 2 games to be able to prove your sample size as being a confirmation. I mean, there's other games in here as well, but you got to play better. I mean, that's just the way it is. And let's just kind of go player by player right now. Listen. JB is, Jane Bradley is a guy that's carried Arizona in the last parts of games for a good percentage of the season, Dibs. And these last 2 games have been maybe his 2 worst of the season. I mean, he's been bad. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, he has not been good. He hasn't been the closer that he was. He started out early in the season when we needed a bucket down the stretch. There was nobody better. He was phenomenal, and it's not the case right now. Right. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if it's, Burries is kind of taken over as the leader of the team and there's like a power shift or something like that going on. I'm not sure. But he needs to be flat out better in crunch time like he was early on in the season.
And the thing is, too, is that it looks like, and Sean, 1999 Super Snap, another soft Tommy team that we will watch lose in the Sweet 16 again. So frustrating. I don't know. Like I said, I appreciate the donation. I don't agree with that though. That is not that's not where I go with that. But Bradley, listen, Bradley has been so many games this year. Bradley's been a closer, and he has not been that closer as well. And that's something that we got to talk about. Now, I will say this: I like Yvonne a lot, but Yvonne shooting 15 shots. That's Dibble. That's something that you can't. That's something that you can't have happen. Yvonne cannot be shooting. You're open for a reason. Stop shooting that. Go ahead.
Yeah, he needs to stop shooting threes. Right. His backdoor cuts are phenomenal. I love when he gets to the basket. He finishes really well with both hands on both sides of the basket. But he's for lack of a better word, he's a glorified role player.
Yeah.
And he's a very good role player. He's extremely good. But I think maybe with all the success he's had, he's trying to expand a little bit. We need him to stop shooting threes. If there's a corner 3 and he's wide open, sure. He doesn't need to shoot 4 or 5 threes a game. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I do want to talk about the refs here in a second. Now, again, I don't want to necessarily get into this the whole time because Arizona had its own problem. But all right, 499. Koa is an emotional woman. If he's not getting to the rim at will, he looks like he doesn't even want to be in the game. I mean, 499 Anthony Ramirez. I can't go there. Like I don't. I don't see anything that indicates that he is that he's a baby or anything. He's not playing well. I mean, he's hitting a roadblock for the first time in his life, and I think that's what you're seeing right now.
Yeah, I think the bad body language was due to the injury. I don't think it's due to anything other than that.
And one thing I'm also going to say too, and again, I totally get that Arizona didn't get. But I'm also going to say as well that you're down 2 players in your rotation. Koa didn't play. Obviously, Dwayne Aristode was out as well. That's something that you got to factor in all of this. I mean, it is what it is. Now, let's talk about something because, again, there are some issues here. Dibble, you're right about almost everything, but I have to give you a lot of credit for something. Braden Burries is the best player on this team. How do I put this? He's the best player on the team. He's the one that when, you need a bucket, he's the one that's squaring up looking to get it. And in that second half, I mean, he almost took him to victory.
Yeah, we are going to go as far as he takes us. Plain and simple.
Yep.
We had a conversation in Vegas. I said it might take him a little bit to get going. But once he gets going, it's going to be all steam ahead. And it's kind of flipped where Pete was really good early in the season and Burries wasn't. And now, Burries is by far our best player.
Yeah, you are. And the thing about him, too, that's just so amazing is he can get anywhere he wants on the court. And I think that's, a part that's just so impressive about him. He can make the 3. He can get the mid-range. He can get to the bucket. He's awesome. He's
three-level scorer. Awesome.
Right.
Another thing we haven't mentioned it yet, free throw shooting needs to be addressed, too.
Oh.
It's becoming a real big problem. Right. As much as we get fouled, as much as we're at the line, we got to get that fixed before March.
Yes, that is a massive problem. Let's talk about that. Let's get a couple reads in here, and then let's get to that. Yes, Dibble with a great point. Let's all right. $5 from J-Rad. Chad is more emotional than Koa. Got to bear down and back the A. All right, let's check. All right, let's get a couple reads in here, and then we're gonna get to that. All right. All right, Casino del Sol watch party, baby. All right, February 21st, 1 p.m., Arizona versus Houston. That is going to be a huge game. They're a huge game. We'd love to see you all out there. Again, eat, drink, bet with Mike and Jason. Oh, Dib's is going to be there, too, the great Jeremiah Dibble. And, yes, my man. So check it out, February 21st, 1 p.m., Casino del Sol. Be there or lose your hair. Is that the term, be there or lose your hair? I don't know what the term is, but either way, be there. Be there. Thanks. Okay. Be there or lose your hair. All right, Foster Plumbing. Hey, Dibble, how's your front pipe working?
I might need to call Foster.
Wow! I didn't expect that as an answer. Most people say my front pipe is thriving, but if it's not thriving, or it's freezing up, or there's like a lot of backload in there, or whatever, call Foster Plumbing. Residential and commercial, licensed, bonded, and insured. Water heaters, drain cleaning, sewer inspections, 24/7 service. 10% off when you mention the AZ12 podcast. Call 520-603-3817 to schedule service today. Check it out. Boom. Foster Plumbing. All right. Now. All right, we got one more, I think. Sorry. All right, Eris Dental. Eris Dental. Everybody out there, this woman is not real. You know this by now. But at the same time, I am also going to say 1997 championship package, that is real. And again, daily urgent care Monday through Friday. And only offer necessary treatment. They only offer necessary treatment. All right, yeah, Nick Arenas, you got the right idea in there. And again, championship package, dental implants, you name it, they got it. Boom. All right, check it out. All right, let's talk about the free throw shooting. That is a real problem here at this point. I don't have any faith outside of like two players that when they go to the free throw line, they're going to make 2 shots. That is Dibs, that's an issue. You were a guy that lived in the paint, liked pushing people around and scoring the basket. What do you see there, Dibs?
I just think we need to get better. I don't understand the problem. I don't understand how we're, Krivas is one of our best free throw shooters, which is weird that our center is probably our second best free throw shooter.
Right.
And he wasn't great tonight either. He missed a couple. But if Braden's not getting to the line, he's the only one I'm like, okay, we're getting both of these.
Right.
Even Bradley's been really bad down the stretch on the at the line also.
Right, and that's the thing that's been kind of weird is that he's, Bradley and Burries were the two that I'm like, okay, cool. Now I got to give Yvonne a shout out. Yvonne was huge; those were massive free throws. Right, yeah, massive free throws. Yes, but when Koa goes to the line, and I don't want to keep piling on Koa because enough people are piling on Koa, but I'm going to say when Koa goes to the free throw line, I have no faith that any of those go in. And then when with Tobe, it's kind of hit or miss.
Tobe can do no wrong in my eyes. He creates so many extra possessions. He's the heart and soul of us defensively. He gets so many rebounds. If he shot 20% from the line, I wouldn't care.
Right. Okay. Now, real quick. And this, I guess, is my problem. And Shane, I don't really mean this towards you, but Shane Bergen, I don't know that I've ever seen Shane in the chat before. And if you've been in here, I apologize. This is what bothers me, though. Arizona loses in the Sweet 16. Guys, they just lost to a really good team. Expect excellence and strive for excellence. Do not accept mediocrity. Shane, I haven't seen you in this chat the entire season when we were 23-0. Why are you in now? I mean, I appreciate you being in here, but I just don't understand why so many people just thrive on, I'm going to get pissed off when it's like, okay, I don't know. I'm done. It just frustrates me, Dibble. Okay. Now up front then, where are you with Krivas? And again, Awaka to me is kind of he can't do any wrong for me either. I absolutely love Awaka. He kept us in this game. Yep. Front court, where are we at?
I love Krivas' game. Defensively, he's phenomenal. Obviously, Toppin's a difficult matchup for him, so he might not have been phenomenal tonight, but throughout the season, he's been great. I like his little hooks. I wish he would be stronger around the rim. He misses a lot of bunnies for being 7 feet tall.
Right.
I was very hard on him in the past, and then I was like, shit, maybe I was wrong, because he came out and played really well to start the season. I'm still holding out hope that he's going to continue to be the defensive stopper and rebounder and, get some buckets. I don't like that our offense right now is geared towards just dumping it into him so much.
Right.
It's kind of reverting to what I didn't like about Krivas in the past. You know, if Krivas is like not a role player, but like if he's, you know, in the offense getting the ball, that's fine. But just straight dump offs to him, I don't think that's going to be very successful.
Okay. Okay. Now, Bryson Preetz, been there every live stream. Love the podcast. Hold on. Where to go? Hold on. I was reading that one. Cody, can you bring that one back? Hold on. Let's see here. Been here every live stream. Love the podcast, but we can't say we are fine because there's big issues after these two. No, and we're not saying we're fine. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying what I am saying though is that this team doesn't suck all of a sudden. This team isn't all of a sudden, oh, the Steer guys are awful. That's not really the case with this. So I don't really go that far. Now with Krivas, Krivas is so much better than I thought he was going to be. That I'm totally cool with it. But there's certain things. If you go into a game against a good team and Jaden Bradley doesn't play well and Koa doesn't give you anything, your margin for error is next to nothing at that point. And I think we've talked about it pretty much this whole year that this team had a big margin for error because everybody was so good. But, if those guys don't play, you don't have Dwayne Aristode, obviously, your margin for error is kind of out the roof at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody that's complaining about the loss, we don't have Aristode. Obviously, P goes down. I don't think this is as bad of a loss as everybody is thinking it is.
Now, let's see where we are. I will say this. Let's see that in a week. Now, Rage in the comments. Rage has picked Arizona to lose every single game, and then 2 weeks ago said this team's winning the national title. Now he doesn't think they're winning the national title, obviously. So it is what it is. Now you look at it far ahead. You got BYU coming up. You got BYU coming up here, you got to win that game. It looks like Richie Saunders is probably out for the season. And that's kind of what it is. So
BYU almost lost to Colorado tonight. They won an OT, I believe.
Yeah, no, they're not. And BYU, I think we saw that pretty early on. BYU's just not very good.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're not what we thought they were for sure.
They're definitely not what they thought they were going to be. Okay, all right. Now let's see here. Alex says, "Hold on." Biggest reason I'm mad, my kid is getting screwed by U of A admissions and scholarships and is looking like ASU. Well, that is a reason to be mad. I understand that one. Okay, Andre Veras, the great Andre Veras. Guys, we are without two rotational players and lost to an excellent Tech team. Let's also not forget that we are playing in the best basketball conference instead of the lame Pac-12. This will prepare us for March. Yes. There's a reason that Andre Veras is in the position that he is in life. Thank you. All right, now, Sean, 211 says, we aren't awful, but we need to reset expectations. We benefited from a soft Big 12 schedule, and we're getting worse. Why not call it out? Well, I guess my question is this. When you say that when you say that we are, that we're benefiting from a from a soft Big 12 schedule, did that help us with Florida? Did that help us with Alabama? Did that help us at UConn? Did that help us with, and TLN, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. Look at some of Tech's wins this year. Tech beat Duke. Tech obviously beat us. They've got another win in there as well that I think is really, really good. But Tech is a good team. Go ahead. What do you got?
I think the thing you have to look at is not that Tech's a good team and that it's a good loss or not a bad loss. It's the way they lost. They were up by 7 with 3 minutes left and let them go on a 9-0 run.
Oh,
no doubt. That's the part that's problematic.
Right. I mean, yeah, of course. And, that's something that you can't really – I mean, when you're up 7 – you know what it felt like a little bit? It kind of felt like against Kansas when you were up 11 and you're like, and then everybody just kind of went on a run there, So what'd you think, though, Dibble? I mean, when you're up 7, you got to win that. You got to win that with a couple.
Yeah, it's a game we should have won. There's no doubt about it. I just think that the overreactions they're frustrating. It's so predictable, especially with the comment sections. It's like, did anybody think we were going to go undefeated? I mean, if this is a bad loss, I mean, maybe, we should win every game at home for sure. But we weren't going to go undefeated. We're hitting some adversity. It's time to bear down.
All right, yeah, bear down, back the 8. All right, Tech's. All right, we got a lot of people in these comments now that don't think Tech's very good. So let's look at some of Tech's. Let's look at some of Tech's wins on the season, just to play devil's advocate on this one. They beat Duke. To my knowledge, Duke is a pretty good team. They lost by 4 to Houston Lost by 3 to Kansas. Again, is it a great team? No, but it's also very capable, I guess is probably the best way that I will put it. But the answer to they didn't have an answer for Toppin. And again, the offense did bog down, but they didn't have an answer for Toppin. There was nothing they could have done with Toppin. And I mean, you know this, Dibs. When you're playing a game and the other team has the best player and you can do exactly what you want, it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, we should have doubled that. If I don't like to overreact with Tommy, but there are some times that he definitely, I feel like, needs to make better in-game adjustments, and that is one that should have been made. We should have been doubling Toppin every time, and if somebody else beats us, that's fine.
Right. Now, I'm going to say, and I'll say this, and TLN's my guy. I'm going to say this, though. Why is it so hard for podcasters to understand that people are upset because it's a pattern of Arizona doing dumb stuff? When those patterns aren't fixed, Arizona doesn't do much in March. Listen, you have an 8-man rotation. You're without 2 of your guys. I get that. And you do some, they do. There's no doubt about it. It's not a flawless team, but every team around the country has had these same kind of talks. And, I guess I don't really know what to say to that, I guess. What would you say?
In my eyes, here's the problem. We've underachieved in March so much. Mm-hmm. It just is what it is. Until Tommy gets the monkey off his back and gets a Final Four, these are the kind of things that are going to come up over and over and over again. Plain and simple, we need a Final Four. Until we get one, every loss, this is what we're going to deal with.
Yeah, of course. And, all right, I would say Tommy sucks at end-of-game management. I will say this with Tommy. It is they generally don't get good shots at the end of games. I'm going to say that. There's 2 things about Tommy's end of game that will always puzzle me, that will always baffle me. I don't understand. That's the other problem. I don't understand why, when a team is trapping you and you are down or you're up, that we always want that we have such a hard time getting the ball in, and even when they get the ball in, it's like, man, that was a real struggle for us to get the ball in. You saw it against Florida. I know you had some money riding on that one right there.
I was sweating that corner 3.
I bet you were. Oh yeah, from Boogie Fland. I bet you were.
But by the way, Tommy just said that Koa and Aristode could both be out for BYU.
Awesome.
All right, well, keep the good times running then.
Shout out CD Gay.
Yeah, I like CD Gay.
Me too.
I think there's a lot to like about CD Gay. If this team is not a big late, they can't close. See, I don't agree with that. I think it's the exact opposite. Look at how many times that Arizona was down, or that was a back and forth game. You look at UCLA. You look at UConn. You look at there's some other games in there as well. So I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. All right, Devil, what are you gonna say?
Oh, well, that last chat that came in, it said Bill Self coach circles around Tommy. Bill Self is one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Bill Self's one of the 10 best college basketball coaches of all time. You know what? It's kind of like saying...
It's not even an insult.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying, man, dude, they went into Alabama, and can you believe that Nick Saban putts that guy... Yeah, can you believe that? I mean,
holy cow, Saban out, yeah.
Right, yes, yes. Now, let's see here. One comment tonight. Cheers, Dibble and BTFD. We going to be fine. Yeah, Flowing Wells 2004. Hey, who is that? Who is that?
Who is it? What's the name?
It is, let's see here. It is on the comments. Oh, you don't have the comments activated, do you?
I don't know.
Oh, dude, we got thousands of comments in here. That's why you got to.
I just saw somebody was telling me to stop shaking the desk, and I wasn't even shaking it, so
right.
Shout out that person.
All right, one comment tonight. Cheers, Dibble and BTFD. We'll be fine. Flowing Wells 2004. Simon says BTFD. Who is this?
Yep. I don't know. 2004, shout out F'd up, though.
Yeah. Flowing Wells. What are you, the Caballeros?
Yeah, we were the Caballeros.
The Caballeros. Yeah. Okay. All right, we got it. How's the Guthrie search going? I don't know. I'm not a. Yes. Yeah, I'm not a private investigator. Okay. Now, as far as the shooting, everybody wants to talk about the shooting. Where are you at with the shooting?
I mean, it needs to get better. I feel like the one thing I am slightly concerned about happened in the Kansas game. It happened tonight. They're kind of understanding that we're packing everything in. And so if we don't start making jump shots, we could continue to struggle. We need to either run a different offense to get better looks, like high screens. Like they ran like a pro style offense. We might need to start doing like a high pick and roll or something like that. instead of the kind of like the handoff weave that we kind of do to try to get the ball inside. Adjustments need to be made. That's for sure.
Yeah, I would say that, and I think that's kind of where adjustments need to be made. The other thing, though, that we've also kind of seen about Tommy generally understands offense. And, so I don't know that I'm going to be that upset about it. Tommy generally understands offense.
Tommy Lloyd is a phenomenal coach.
Right.
He's only getting better, and I think that we're very lucky to have him. And anybody that wants him gone is.
Well, all right. So then let's talk about that for a second. But let's get a couple more reads in here, Cody. What do you got? Charles Parkinson's calls me a punk. All right, Charles. Well, appreciate the kind words. Hey, Charles is a punk. Call 88 Crime if you see people out there that are punks. And you're like, hey, guess what? This Charles guy, he's calling me names, and he's probably up to things that he shouldn't be doing. I'll tell you what. Call 88 Crime if you see something illegal going on. 882-7463. Now, it's anonymous. Pima County Attorney's Office, 88 Crime. Check it out. Boom. Check it out. 88 Crime. Yeah, Charles. Putz. Okay. Now, what else? All right, RJ's Frozen Cactus. Red hot sports and ice cold beer, baby. Now, huge parking lot you can park a jet in. 100-plus craft beers, $2 deals, pizza, wings, tacos, burgers, and more. No bad seats in the house. And again, check it out. RJ's Frozen Cactus. Again, you go there, you get some really good food, you get some drink. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, Charles, you suck. Sorry, dude. Nothing personal. Okay, 12 Arizona locations. Baggins, baby. Baggins. Go in there. All food made in-house daily. Now, you could be just a miserable person like Charles that has nothing going for him in life, and you're like, man, what can I do to make my life better? Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Baggins, and I'm going to get some food because then I'll feel better than Charles is, who is permanently upset with himself. Use code AZ12 for 15% off. Every sandwich comes with a chocolate chip cookie. All food made in-house daily, locally owned and operated. Check it out. All right. Okay. Now, all right. So the shooting, like I said, everybody wants to talk about the shooting. Let's talk about the shooting. It wasn't a problem before, obviously. The last couple games you haven't. I'm going to say this, though. They need the right people shooting threes. I don't want Yvonne shooting threes. Under no circumstance do I want Yvonne shooting threes. Same with Koa. If you're open for a reason. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like I said earlier, 1-3 out of Ivan is enough. We don't need 4 or 5 attempts a game. I would like to see Bradley shoot a couple more. He's been pretty hesitant from outside. Right. His mid-range game is still very solid. He made some buckets early in the game, but we just need to make shots. We need to take better shots, and we need to have the right people shooting.
All right, now let me get a couple more reads in here. We got let's see, missed a couple of them. Cody, I almost said Coda. Cody, what are the last couple? I think I missed those super snaps. Okay, Sean, we aren't awful, but we need to reset expectations. We benefited from a soft Big 12 schedule, and we were getting worse. Why not call it out? I mean, there's certainly concerns. Chadwick McDonald's, great name. Back in the A, baby. $1.99. Very much appreciate you. $1.99. Bill, $2 super snap from Stutjo. Arizona's depth isn't all it's hyped up to be. No, I'm going to disagree with you there. The depth is if you're able to play. The depth is fine if you've got all 8 guys. If Aristode's out, if Koa's out, then all of a sudden you got 6 players. So, I mean, when we're talking about depth, we're talking about that 8-man rotation. I mean, no, that's kind of where we're going at that, Dibs. And then what's else? Tough loss, grab a rebound. Koa been invisible lately. OC bodybuilders. Okay, now Arizona fans are unreal. 23-0 fire. But let's talk about Tommy Lloyd here for a second. Dibs, you hit the nail on the head, as you always do. If Tommy Lloyd were to hit the free agent market, he would be the most sought-after coach in college basketball. And if he's not the most sought-after coach, he would be the second most sought-after coach. He is absolutely he would be at the top of almost anybody's pecking order.
There's a reason he coaches the USA team. He's very well respected amongst other coaches. Other national coaches love him. He's got a great demeanor. He is an amazing recruiter. I don't understand. I don't get the fascination with it. People in the chat are talking about Sean Miller, and I love Sean Miller.
You're a big Sean Miller guy.
I was a big Sean Miller guy, and I still am. I still root for him. Tommy Lloyd is a better coach than Sean Miller.
He is. here's what I say, and I've actually Dibble and I go back a long ways with Dibble, and the thing that we've had a lot of Sean. I find Sean Miller far more easy. Sean Miller did a lot of really good things at the U of A. We talked about it. He made it a two-coach school. In that, so it's not like it's Maryland or Syracuse or UNLV where you're like, all right, maybe that's not a good program. It just had a really good coach. Sean Miller dispelled all of that. I will always be forever indebted to Sean Miller for that. Sean, though, listen, everybody wants Final Fours. The end of the day, Sean's also been coaching for 23 years as a head coach or whatever with no Final Fours. So I would challenge that, Javier. Do you think Tommy Lloyd's going to go 23 years? Maybe you do think he's going to go 23 years.
Hey, shout out Gary Triano in the chat. He said find white boy shooters. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. We need white guys. By the way, my idea on the NBA All-Star game is to turn it. Did you see what Nick Wright put?
Oh yeah, that would be entertaining.
The all white versus the all black game. Oh my gosh.
They play hard.
Yeah, they would play hard with that. They would play very, very hard for that. Okay, now looking ahead then to BYU. If you're, let's see, Charles. All right, hey, dude, just Charles, you're gonna be banned here in a second because you're punk. Okay, so going forward, you got to get Jaden Bradley right though.
Yeah.
He's the tip of the. What is it? The tip of the spear, the head of the snake. The
head of the snake. I like it.
Yeah, the head of the snake. Listen, if the head of the snake isn't biting, if the head of the snake isn't venomous, then you're going to get into some trouble here. And he's got to be better. He has got to play at he's got to play it pretty much at, and not even necessarily an All-American level. He's got to play at a next level right there, Dibs.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen it a couple things in the chat. What do you think about the officiating today? Obviously, we lose the game either way. But what do you think about of the inconsistencies of the calls?
The Big 12 officiating is garbage. I like being in the Big 12. Real quick, Javier. One more, Javier. Dusty May, Todd Golden, UConn made the Final Four and won a chip in less than 5 years. Danny Hurley was a coach for life. Danny Hurley did not make a Final Four in his first 4 years there. So take it that. Okay, now, I'm going to say this. The officiating in the Big 12 is terrible. In my opinion, it had nothing. Arizona, and I'm going to say this, Arizona deserved to lose against Kansas, and they deserved to lose against Texas Tech. I need to be very clear about that.
Toppin killed us. He's the reason we lost that game.
There's nothing that we could do about it. I totally get it. But I am going to say this, though. Like Jaden Bradley, the two possessions right there. When Jaden Bradley gets a steal and is going down the other way, he doesn't touch the guy, and then they call a foul on him, and obviously Tech gets the ball back. That would have been a layup. Then, literally the next time down the court, JB pulls up for a jumper. His entire elbow gets hit. Anybody that's played basketball for like one day knows that the only way your elbow goes up and the ball goes up like that is if it's hitting the elbow. Nothing called, and then it was just right down. It was just right down the court. That's kind of where that just can't. Plays like that you can't miss. Tony Padilla, we've been over Tony Padilla a million different times. He's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, he's the worst.
He's absolutely terrible. But the officiating in the Big 12 sucks. What do you think, Dibs?
I just hate the inconsistencies of it. Like I said before, we lose the game either way. I wish they would call it either let them play the entire game or call it tight. Either way is fine. Just keep it consistent the entire game.
Right, yes. Arizona sucked, but the refs were still extremely costly. TLN, I would agree with that. But Alex also puts it really well where he says, we were up by 7 with 3 minutes left. Can't blame the officials. We need to make a couple buckets. Yeah, that's what it is. You need to make a couple buckets, or you need to be able to stop JT Toppin. And when you couldn't stop JT Toppin, that was basically, let's be honest here, that was game. Now, it does suck. We couldn't score. They went on a 9-10 regulation. Yeah, I mean, that's, that is what it is. Now, I'm going to ask you guys all this, and I'm curious to your take, Dibs. I'm curious to everybody in the chat. If Arizona had won this game by 1 instead of losing the game, there would be, and I've done this long enough to know this, there would be a drastically different feel.
Oh, absolutely. There'd be 20 more super snaps, and everybody would be thrilled we won, and nobody would say fire Tommy.
And no, Devin, let's see here. D-May, they called BS on Arizona. No, and JT Toppin was fouling a lot on those moves. So
that comment's actually true. I told my wife, we were watching it, I said that the foul on Ivan didn't get fouled.
Right.
That was not a foul.
He definitely did not get fouled.
I mean,
right.
I felt like there was like the one across Bradley's face that wasn't called. He got hit with the forearm on the drive. That was like almost a makeup call, but that last one was not a foul.
The Ivan one was definitely not a foul. Yeah, so I will totally agree with that. Yeah, there was a 1-2 where Bradley got smacked in the head on a layup, and there was no call as well. So that was very.
My only issue with the refs is that they're very inconsistent on travel calls.
The Tobe one was absurd.
Tobe got called for a travel, and then they missed like 4 on Toppin. Dude, he travels every single time he gets the ball in the paint. He cannot keep a pivot foot down.
You keep telling me that. You're going to have to send me a few of those.
I'll find one.
Yeah, okay. A win and the anger and disappointment would still be there. I don't know. I think some people just look at the win. Now, it was asked earlier, okay, what was the last super snap? It was asked about the seeding. You're still playing for a 1 seed, man. You look around college basketball, and here's a little bit of my problem, though, too, I think, with some fans, and this isn't just for Arizona. Every team has issues. Every single team has issues. I think you get this idea, or a lot of people get this idea that, how do I put this? That no other team has flaws. Let's just go over some of the best teams in the country right there. You've got Tobe did travel. That's never called. When you move your foot a half inch or whatever he did, that's never called. Sure, if you want to call it cool, but you could call 800 of those in the game. That's my issue with that. What I'm going to say is this. Let's talk Michigan first. Michigan lost at home to Wisconsin. They won by like 1 against Penn State. They barely beat Nebraska without 2 of its 4 best players and its best player. You look at some of these other games as too. Duke lost to this same Texas Tech team. Duke lost to North Carolina. I can keep going. Look at UConn. UConn for about a 7-game stretch was playing nail biters with Georgetown. That's kind of where I'm at with that. Every team has flaws.
Every team does have flaws. The thing with Michigan is they shoot a lot of threes, so you can become more inconsistent, and that's when they have those games. Michigan's ceiling is higher than anyone's in the nation, though. Right. If Michigan is on, they will beat everybody.
Right. I mean, they're tough, man. They're tough. Their guard play worries me a little bit because I don't think Cadeau is that great, but and Burnett, but it kind of is what it is. They're good. They're good. There's no other. They also beat UCLA by 30 today. No, but that's what I'm just saying though. Michigan is obviously very, very good. I don't think there's any dispute about that. But what I am going to say, though, is that you can find a snapshot of any team where they don't play well for a 2 or 3 week period. That doesn't mean they suck.
If Boozer was out for Duke and they lost a game, I don't think anybody would say anything. Pete being out,
right? It's
a big deal. People are acting like it's not a big deal. It's a big deal. I know he hasn't been playing well, but it changes the rotation. It changes everything. Toby didn't get to sit. It changes the entire game.
And like you said, and even if he's not playing well, it's still a minutes situation.
Yes.
It's still that's still pretty much the way it is there. So I mean, you got to look at that. Now, the problem with some of Arizona's impressive wins, or it turns out that Auburn sucks. Auburn does suck. UCLA suck, but there's still a lot of. Florida is going to be a top 10 team. Florida, that win is going to.
Florida's crushing right now. They're going to win the SEC.
Yes, agreed. UConn, I know they're without Reed. That is still an awesome win in stores, and you could say that. Then on top of that, you also got what is the other? There's another really nice win. Alabama's a solid win as well. There's a lot of good wins.
Alabama's not as good as they have been in the past.
Correct.
But it's still a good win. It's not a great win anymore. It's a good win.
It's a good win, but it's not like it's Auburn, where we just come to find out that Auburn just sucks.
In the chat, Koa's literally average at everything. Did you watch the Florida game when he dropped 30? The dude is a beast. He's slumping. He's a freshman.
Right.
Freshmen have slumps, just like Burries. Everybody in the U of A fan base hated Burries at first, and now he's our best player. Just relax. Everybody relax.
Right. Now, listen, if we're having the same talk in 2 weeks, then we got some issues here. But at the same time, though, I think we've all seen this. You know how many Lute Olson teams I saw that went on again, everybody knows this, but the championship team lost 2 games going into the tournament as we're a 4 seed. Okay. Oh, my bad. Bryson. Mike, would you like to see Evan Nelson get minutes in a way like how Conrad would? Not really. If they don't
I'd say Conrad over Evan Nelson in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I think we've, yes, I love how, yes, Dibble, I'm going to say this. Jesse says, I love how Dibble takes no nonsense from the chat. I love it. Dibble takes no nonsense in life, my friends. Dibble says, you get in my face, the Dibble is getting right back in your face. That's what we like about Dibble, amongst many other things. Okay, now, what were we just talking about? My ADHD just took over. Oh, Nelson. Yeah, I've seen enough from Evan Nelson to decide that I probably don't want to see him in the game. That's kind of where I'm at.
This guy's soft.
Yeah.
I'm soft. Javi, shout out Javi. I am soft, brother.
Yeah. All right, we got to tell you a little bit about Javier, our good pal Javier. Javier did not show up into the chat for about 2 months during Arizona basketball when we were winning. Javier, though, strangely reemerges when Arizona loses. It's very interesting. And kind of like a few other people in here that I've never seen before. Okay, now, need down. How are we talking about anyone but Bradley? Two losses were both on him. No, Bradley was awful. I don't know what else to say. Bradley was bad. And they're not going to win games if Bradley doesn't play well like that against good teams. Now,
Yep.
I got faith in Bradley that he's going to figure it out. I didn't expect him to be Jason Terry the entire season or whatever. But at the same time, he's got to play better. I mean, period. When he missed the throw, when the 3-point shot to Atwell where he just stood there, he didn't make the mid-rangers that he normally does. That's where it's at, Dibs. He's just got to play better. But I'm also not going to sit here and say that he sucks because of a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, he played bad tonight. No, I don't think anybody's defending him playing well tonight.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying, and I know that's not what Mike's saying. He didn't play well. Yeah, we could say that he was most of the reason or part of the reason we lost this game, sure. But he's been great all season, so it's hard to take away from him when he's been really good and then he's had 2 bad games.
Like, it's like, yeah, that's not playing bad. That's lazy basketball. Yeah, I mean, he didn't. That was a bad I mean, I don't know if you want to call it lazy. I don't think anything he does is lazy. I think you can have brain farts. Heck, my whole life is a brain fart. That doesn't mean that I'm lazy. It just means that my brain's farting right now. That's brain fart.
Probably maybe don't say that.
Yeah. Here, Rage will fight Dibble. You will lose, Rage. I've seen your boxing record. You will lose to Dibble. I will put it to you like that. Yeah. Yeah. It's 2 games, a real streak. No, it's not. Okay, now, let's get a couple more reads in here. Nice try, Rage. Everybody's got a price. You would lose, though. All right, now, Copal. Everybody, go to Copal. Get some good food. Tucson's contemporary Mexican food. Book your next large party or corporate event. Large party packages available. We cater any event. Let's see here. And mention Mike Luke's for a free elote rib. Oh, who doesn't want a Mike Luke elote rib? Bryson, I appreciate you, man. I'm just going back and forth with you. Okay, now. All right, now, mymexicanmenu.com. Use code AZ12 for 10% off your order. Tucson's tastiest margaritas. Who doesn't like Tucson's tastiest margaritas? I know I do.
X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you.
All right, Comfort X HVAC. Man, if you were growing up like when me and Dibs were, man, I'll tell you what, DMX was running things. X gonna give it to you. But Dogman X, baby. All right, Tucson's local HVAC team. And now, Dibble, do you have air conditioning where you and the lovely missus are living?
We do.
Good. Because there are some people in here that right now probably don't have air conditioning, and it is frying their brains.
Javi needs some AC. I think that's his issue.
Well, Javier lives in Guadalupe. Which, yikes. We give Javier a little bit of credit because living in Guadalupe would not be fun. But if Javier ever needed, because I'm sure it's kind of in a group home setting situation. But I'll tell you one thing, though. Comfort X HVAC could get them the air conditioning that they so badly need. Call 520-222-7012. Trusted by homeowners, businesses, and builders. Boom. All right. Now... All right. We got Dibble in here now. Welcome to the Rock. All right, you're up, Dibs.
I can't top that. I'm just going to leave it to you, brother.
All right, they call me the closer for a reason. Yes, 2 convenient locations. Yeah, 50-plus locally sourced landscaping materials. East of Benson, Sierra Vista, west of Marana, south of Nogales, north to Oracle. Green Valley Decorative Rock. Back the rock, baby. Green Valley Rock AZ. Check it out. All right, now, I'm going to say this. Shane, let's read what Shane's saying here. Texas Tech will be a 4 seed. Kansas is probably a 3. I'm not saying all is lost, but people need to stop acting like this isn't a bad couple of games. It is. Sorry. You're saying these are 2 top 15 teams. I mean, you know that happens. Now, yeah. And I think what is frustrating, Dibs, is that, and I think a couple people in the comments put this as well, is that now, Devin McBride, the great Devin McBride, says, ultimately, the 2 losses don't tell us anything new we didn't know and don't move the needle of March potential. Yeah, I mean, it's a flawed team, but it's not a great – I mean, it's a flawed team, but it can still – it's still a hey, Need Down says championship teams don't lose at home. Oh, I bet you in the last 20 years, I could probably find you 10 to 15 teams that lost at home. Yes. So I'll leave it at that. But, like I said, what do you want to see? Let's talk about BYU. Where do you want to what do you want to see against BYU? Let's assume Koas and Dwayne are out.
I was just going to say it's a tough question because if Dwayne and Co are out, it's going to become a difficult game.
Right.
And then if we lose that, I'm going to stay away from the chats everywhere. We should still beat BYU. We're a better team. Getting healthy should be our number 1 priority right now.
Agreed. Get everybody healthy, and not only get everybody healthy, be able to get to the point then, too, where, all right, regroup, recalibrate. Now, I will say this, though. Everybody's always talking about, Arizona, you always flame out in March after killing it during the regular season. Well, here you go. You got a couple losses during the regular season now. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, gosh. All right. Shane, I'm going to ask you one more question. He says, LOL, relax. With all due respect, that's loser talk. Winners win. Shane, why haven't I seen you in the chat once this entire year, but now you're in here blowing it up now that they lost?
Nobody goes undefeated. We were going to lose games. It happens.
Right. It is. That just is the way it is, and it is. Okay. Now, This was obviously a tough game for the Wildcats, but it is Valentine's Day, though. Everybody out there, you all need to enjoy your Valentines. Dibble, what are you and the lovely missus doing?
She's waiting for me to get off the pod. Very patient.
Right. You got a winner right there. We like her.
Yeah,
we like Lindsay a lot. Okay. Hey, do we have any more reads, Cody? All right, Longview. I'm not going to ever endorse Andre Veras. I will endorse Jeremiah Dibble. I will endorse Jeremiah Dibble every single day of the week, but not Andre Veras. But I will highly recommend Andre Veras. Did you recently change your jobs? Let's talk you through your old 401k and learn more about your new retirement plan. Trying to balance. Let's build a strategy that covers both. Investing on your own, but not sure it's enough. Give Andre a call at 520-325-3456 and reference the AZ12 podcast. Check it out. Boom. All right, let's see here. All right, get these shirts, everybody. These shirts just ring out fertility. I mean, the women will go crazy when you see these shirts. I'm just saying, they're big. And we got the Ted Wardo shirt coming out.
You should give one of those away at the watch party.
Oh, I know, I am. We are going to.
I'll take care of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we will take care of that one. But I will say, if there's an unexpected child that springs out of it, don't blame us. Don't blame us. That's up to you. That's up to you. Check it out. Okay. All right. Now, everybody go to Little Caesars, by the way. Code LCFREECC, free crazy combo with any pizza purchase, or code SAVE15. SAVE15. Again, Shane, you're still ignoring it. You're still ignoring what I said. Why have you not been in the chat for this for the 23-game win streak? Now you're in here as well. That makes me question your motivations. Boom. How about that? Okay. Now, Dibble, you are the man. We very much appreciate you, Jeremiah Dibble.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, bro.
All right, guys. Like I said, Arizona's 23-2. Yes, there's some concerns. We'll be talking about this throughout the week. Don't worry. But It's also Valentine's Day. Everybody go out there and have some fun. Yeah, get a little bit frisky, if you know what I mean. But yeah, on that note, though, I appreciate all of you, all of the super snaps. You guys are awesome. Like I said, it's a tough game. I get it, but also realize at the end of the day, it's also just a game. So check. Like I said, I will leave it at that. Now let's see here. Hold on. Yeah. All right. On that note, though, we're going to sign off, and we will be back on Monday. But for the great Jeremiah Dibble, I am merely Mike Luke. Everybody in the chat, you guys are great. Cody behind the scenes. We'll see you on Monday. TTFN. Again, it's still only sports. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. Back the A, baby. Thank you, Mr. Cello.